Appearance is very important in the real world, even though we all may not want to admit it, but our physical appearance can have a great effect on our lives, especially in communication. I think most of us know that appearance is a form of nonverbal communication, and it can very effectively communicate our personality, our mood, and anything in between. According to Warren and Bassett, nonverbal communication is all modes of communication except language, including non-word vocals, gestures, use of space, time, artifacts, and smell. Our physical appearance consists of our clothes, our clothing style, our hairstyle, and our body type, and so on and so forth. To explain how appearance is important for communication, I will elaborate on two main points. First of all, I will explain how a person's experience can communicate different messages about our personality and how mostly anyone can tweak their appearance to communicate different messages. And secondly, I will explain how communicating through appearance can be deceiving without verbally communicating first. It is important to understand that we all communicate through our appearance every day, even though we don't realize it, whether we're at the mall with friends or at a job interview. Our appearance can say a lot about who we are as a person. Many people judge others on their appearance without first verbally communicating, which is why it is important to represent yourself through appearance, especially on important interviews, at work, and really anywhere you want to be taken seriously. We can all utilize this aspect of communication to give good first impressions, since most people do judge on appearance. For example, it is essential that everyone knows how to appear for job interviews. You will want to look professional most of the time. But believe it or not, there are many people who think it is acceptable to show up for their interview in sweatpants and an old t-shirt. This type of dress would communicate that this person is lazy and irresponsible and doesn't really care. Would you want that person working for you? Probably not. There are also many other instances where you want to communicate through your appearance besides job interviews. Anything from first dates, to going to a party, to meeting your boyfriend or girlfriend's parents. With any of these situations, you will want to communicate something different through your appearance. Now that I've explained how appearance can communicate different messages to people, I will explain how appearance can sometimes be deceiving to others who are judging us on our appearance. While I'm sure many of you would like to say that you don't judge books by their cover, it's almost the first instinct for us to form opinions without talking to people first. Which is why it's important that your appearance sends the correct message to people. Say the job applicant from earlier had dressed in the right attire, answered all the questions flawlessly, but had visible tattoos on their neck. Almost definitely the interviewer had already formed an opinion on the applicant and had decided that they didn't get the job because of how they looked, which affects how he does during the interview. As stated by Penny Hall in the newspaper Business Day, if she had known her employee had tattoos and piercings at the time of her interview, it is quite plausible that I may not have offered her the job. While speaking of one of her employees who turned out to be the most efficient, loyal, and professional person I ever employed. And this is just one example of how appearance can be deceiving. Cliques in high school can give wrong first impressions, and certain groups bad reputations. Take goths, for example, and preppy kids. The way gothic kids dress can make them seem mean and cold-hearted, while preppy kids get the reputation of being happy and outgoing. While having talked to people from both groups in high school, I found that it's just the opposite in most cases. But this is just based on personal opinion. As you can see, our appearance can be very deceiving to others, which is why it's important to represent yourself properly through your appearance. In brief, appearance is very important in effective communication. A person's appearance can communicate many different messages to people who will almost certainly judge us without first verbally communicating. But while this is true, appearance can also be deceiving, for those who judge us.